And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Tim Tullock. A big Sunday show to get to, a nice carryover in the Pick Six. We'll have all the football playoff action for you in the sports book. Let's talk about last Saturday. And, well, the Ravens game last night kind of went like my Stronach 5 on Friday. A knockout in the first round, just a tough beat for the Ravens last night, but that's all right. We still have two nice playoff games today, the conference championship next week, and then a 2-week lead up to the Super Bowl. We'll have all the NFL action, all the playoff action right here at Laurel Park. The Ravens are out, but that's all right. Horse racing today, so we're right back at it.
Yeah, it wasn't the fact that the Ravens lost so much. It was just the way they lost. It's just like this game. Sometimes you just don't have the fastest horse. Your horse runs a great race. They get beat. C'est la vie. You move on. Mistakes happen. You get a bad ride. Maybe you didn't prepare a horse properly and you get beat. That's a whole different thing, and that's exactly what happened last night. Now, the Titans were very, very good. Don't doubt it, and they had our number. We had no shot. Zero. End of story. Move on. But great games here this afternoon.
Titans have American Pharaoh as their running back. That Henry guy, he's a monster. So, all right, how about the horse racing yesterday?
Matoli.
Huh?
More like Matoli.
Matoli.
Yeah.
Alex Cintron won the big feature yesterday, a nice upper-level allowance win for Blue Eyed Girl, a 4-year-old daughter, super saver for trainer Marcus Zuleta. She was a popular favorite. She paid $380 in yesterday's upper-level allowance feature.
Yeah.
She was just too tough to beat.
How about that performance by Blue Eyed Girl? That was a big race. She's now 4 for 6 since being claimed by Marcus Zuleta, and she absolutely blew those other fillies' doors off. End of story. Yep. It was a good-looking win for Blue Eyed Girl.
And trainer Claudio Gonzalez, we honored our 2019 leaders yesterday. Trevor McCarthy, last year's leading jockey. Leading trainer was Claudio Gonzalez. We honored the connections of Anna's Bandit in the winner's circle, Jerry Robb and Gina Robb, No Guts, No Glory Farm. Anna's Bandit, the winningest horse in the country last year. And, well, speaking of Claudio Gonzalez, the Claudio barn heating up. I think he had 2 winners yesterday. He had a win earlier for the presentation. Then he had a nice allowance winner, nice 3-year-old, won the nice allowance race going a mile. Nice claim by Claudio and Joseph Bessiker for Pitching Airy, a Maryland-bred 3-year-old by Danza. They claimed him out of a maiden 25. He won that day. They've won 2 in a row with him, including a nice allowance win. So Pitching Airy looks like a real nice claim for the Claudio Gonzalez barn.
Well, the day kind of was a little interesting because yesterday morning people were working a lot of horses. They were staying well off the fence, and I thought the rail was kind of dead. But Pitching Airy, a Life in Flash, they both came up the fence to get the win. But Pitching Airy's effort, that was a big effort, a good-looking win, a good ride there also from Rosales.
All right, so Saturday is in the books. Let's rock and roll here to Sunday. Nice carryover in the Rainbow Pick Six. That's going to start race 3 today on the 8-race program. There it is, Tim, over 5,200. So that's getting up there. That'll be well played. It'll be over 10,000 today when it's all said and done, if you can be the only ticket and take down the jackpot. So nice carryover in the Pick Six. We have all the NFL playoff action for you today here in the sports book. 2 big playoff games this afternoon. I think the first one starts around 3, and then the later game is around 6. So we'll have both games for you today in the sports book with all the simulcast action from across the country. Next Saturday, looking forward to next Saturday. It's going to be another Super Stake Saturday here at Laurel Park. The racing office has put together 4 stake races for Saturday, January 18th. The nominations are out. You can check them out on our website, laurelpark.com. There's a press release, a nice story about the stake races and some of the horses that are nominated to the What a Summer, the Fire Plug, the Geisha, the Jennings Stakes. So nominations are out, laurelpark.com, or you can find them on Equibase. We'll take entries for this big stake Saturday this coming Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday, entries will come out. And they're always big days, exciting days, well attended, and the races typically are very, very good.
All right, so that's next Saturday. Let's get right to it here today. Let's show you a picture of the main track. We had warm weather yesterday. I think we had a storm overnight. We had some rain here in Laurel, Maryland overnight. No rain right now, but there's the track. We're going to have a muddy track to get things going today, and the weather is not helping because it's warm and it's just making the track all kind of gooey, isn't it, Tim?
Well, it's certainly it'll help a little bit today because it's as wet as it's going to get. It's not going to get any wetter. So a little wind, a little sunshine today will help it out, but I can't imagine it gets a whole lot better throughout the day. It could get a little upgraded to good, but I can't see much better.
All right, so here we go. Race 1 will kick off the popular early pick 5 in race 1. It's a mandatory payout on this early pick 5, and as always, we feature that industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket today for both pick 5s, $54 play. In the early pick 5, I couldn't find a single, so I just kind of dink and dunk here these first 5 races. Race 1, you have 2 popular favorites, a nice maiden special weight for 3-year-olds going a mile, the 3 Irish Cork, and the 6 Order for Porky. They're going to be your 2 heavy favorites here in race 1, so they look tough to beat. I don't try to beat them. Then I go 1, 3, 4 there in the second race, 4, 6 in race 3. And then race 4 is it's a tricky beat nickel. I go 3 deep there. I use the 4, 7, 8. Maybe I can get a little price with the 7 Battle Ready. That's 6-1 with Alex Cintron aboard for Michael Gorham. That'd be a nice 6-1 shot there. The 7 Battle Ready I like in race 4. And then race 5, I'm 3 deep there as well. The 6 might be a nice price. Marylander at 9-2 for Lacey Gaudette. So a couple price plays I have there on my ticket for races 4 and 5. Let's hope I'm live. Let's get going here. Race 1's a nice maiden special weight for straight 3-year-olds going a mile. The 3 Irish Cork is your even money morning line favorite. He looks tough to beat. We both go with the 3 on top. So let's start there. Blinkers go on today. A 3-year-old gelding by flat out for trainer John Service. He's run 2 very useful races up there at Parks back in December. Maiden special weight on and off track, a good track and a sloppy track. He went a mile last out. 65 Beyer speed figure. That kind of towers over the field. And now he might have some added focus with the blinkers on. He gets another off track. He's proved he likes it all. And he gets McCarthy, by the way, as well. So the 3 looks tough to beat.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on here with Irish Cork. A nice work since that last race on January 7th, a half of 48-1, taking on a route of ground for the second time in his career. And I agree. The blinkers should help. And the fact that he's getting a bit of an off track where he's already proven over certainly isn't going to hurt him. Throw in Trevor McCarthy, and everything looks pretty good for Irish Cork, who's even money on the morning line.
All right, so the 1 Market Mover and the 6 Order for Porky, they're coming out of the same race. Let's show you that race December 21st right here. Laurel Park, maiden special weight event, going a mile and a 16th on a fast track this day. Now, Order for Porky, who's the 4, in between horses, getting a tough trip right now. That's a tough spot to be in between horses. I always cringe when I see that, and it's my horse. So now on the inside, getting hammered by 2 horses on the outside. Order for Porky, your 8-5 favorite this day, getting a tough trip. The 5 Market Mover is right there, I believe, in between horses. So Market Mover is going to get up for a decent 4th. But a tough trip for the favorite Order for Porky last out.
Yeah, it was kind of a tough trip for both Order for Porky and Market Mover. Market Mover, the 5 was in between horses there. But the 4 Order for Porky, pretty good-looking effort at the end of the day. He was stretching out to a mile and 16th that particular day. He turns back to a mile this afternoon. And we saw Kelly Rubley win with a horse yesterday. My man Pots and Pans with Julian Pimentel paid a pretty nice price. Kind of having this same kind of pattern here where he ran pretty decently and then stepped up yesterday and got the job done. Kelly's horses get better the longer she has them. She'll be making his 4th start here this afternoon by Uncle Mo out of a War Chant mare. The surface isn't going to matter. Uncle Mo's run over anything and everything. I like Order for Porky. could spring the upset here today over Irish Cork, no doubt.
All right, yeah, you had that Kelly Rubley $9 horse on top yesterday, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I like that horse.
All right, so you'll get a little price here on the 6 order for Porky because the 3 Irish Cork's going to be a heavy favored. Market Mover is going to slip away at a decent 5-6 to 1, and then I used the 4 in the mix. A gray for Carolyn. Juan Vasquez brings us colt down by the factor from Parks. Ran okay 4th last out on a sloppy track up there at Parks, going 6.5. I'm not sure about the stretch out today. Carol Sedania will ride, might get a piece of it, so I use him at the bottom of my picks.
Yeah, ran a mile in the second start of his life, taking on dirt for the first time. It was his second start coming out of a 7.5 furlong turf race. So I guess what I'm saying is we don't know what we don't know. He really hasn't put together a good race. This simply might work for him here this afternoon.
You have a 15 to 1 shot at the bottom of your pick. Super Dancer by Super Saver for Trez Abbott. Tyler Connor will ride. Tyler Connor's had a win this weekend here at Laurel Park. No good in debut, but they keep the horse. He's well bred. They paid $30,000 for him at Keeneland. They stay at the maiden special weight level, trying a mile today.
Well, getting it off track by Super Saver out of the King Mambo mare, that's not going to hurt. But I don't think he got anything out of that last race. He didn't get away well that particular day. Was outrun early and then got tired. Going 7/8 of a mile first time out of the box is sometimes a tough ask. But after our top 2, the 3 Irish Cork and the 6 order for Porky, I think it's wide open. So I'm going to give this horse a shot second time out of the box with a couple works since that first race. It can't go any worse than it did in his debut race.
All right, so nice maiden special weight for 3-year-olds, going a mile to kick off the early. Pick 5. I used the 2 favorites, 3-6 here in race 1. You like the early pick 4. That starts in race 2. Let's turn the page here. Maiden 25, 4 and up, going a mile here in race 2 to kick off your early pick 4 ticket. Here we go.
Yeah, $18 ticket. I tried to keep my tickets a little cheaper this afternoon along with my Rainbow Pick 6 because the day looks chalky. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of money. But 1, 3, 4 in race 2. Race 3, I use the 4, 5, and 6. Race 4, you're absolutely right. Wide open. I go 4 deep here. 2, 4, 7, and 8. And in the 5th, I single on the 8. Always Forgiven for Anthony Ferrier and Alex Cintron. And my whole day comes on Always Forgiven, Ferrier, Cintron, because he's my single in my Rainbow Pick 6 also. So there it is. $18 ticket. Good luck if you play along.
All right, that's a nice race in race 5. I'd say, the 10-2 life going a mile. And okay, I have the 8 on top as well there,
yeah.
Race 5. All right, so here we go. Race 2, we're going a mile. Maiden 4 and up. Maiden claiming $25,000. I have the 4 Stand My Ground on top, and we'll get a decent price, 3 to 1. That's not bad because the 3 team efforts are heavy favored. The 1 Lotto's 5 to 2. So I'll try to get an $8 winner home here in race 2. Weston Hamilton rides this 4-year-old by Temple City for Judy DiMattali. Looks like the horse needed a race coming off the layoff, 24 to 1, late December. Maiden 40 was in for the waiver, protected, just ran okay. Had a little bit of a wide trip. Knees in the breeze would come out of that race to win, so it was a strong race. So now second off the layoff today, we take a drop in class. This horse has run some decent races in the past, albeit on the turf. The lone trial on an off track, and not very good, but that was way last May when he was a 3-year-old. That was for Maiden 40. This is the cheapest he's run for. I think the 4 Stand My Ground can benefit from a class relief today and score at a nice price.
Look, the next out winner also in his last race, Noble Way, would come back and win, and simply that's the hope that dropping to the Maiden 25 is going to get it done for Stand My Ground. I think at the end of the day, he's been a little disappointing to me. He's had races where he's looked pretty good in the races and just hasn't gotten it done, whether it be on dirt or turf. I have him on my ticket. I think he's going to have to come up. The drop's going to help. There's no doubt about that. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough.
All right, you go with the 1 on top here. Lotto's 5 to 2. Trevor McCarthy rides this 4-year-old by Morning Line for Kieran McGee. A sharp second last out at the Maiden 25 level. Going 7 furlongs. Stretches out to a mile today.
Yeah, 21% Kieran McGee is when he takes one from a sprint to a route. And that race in his last start going 7/8 of a mile was a good-looking effort. He laid close to the pace. He ends up running second. He only gets beat a length and a half. And while his number went south that particular day, I think this horse wants to ago is going in the right direction. He gets better. Third start here for Kieran McGee. A work since that last race. And I just thought that was a really, really solid effort in his last start, and you're getting Trevor McCarthy. And Trevor and Kieran McGee, you don't think about them teaming up too often, but they're at 31%.
Sure.
I mean, they know how to find the winner's circle. So I'm going to take a shot with Lotto at 5-2. Not much of a shot, 5-2. But
better price than 2-5. He was 2-5 in a 5-horse field last time at this level and got beaten, flattened out on the inside in the final stride. So he's going to have to finish better today on the stretch out. You'll get a better price, 5-2 today on the 1 Lotto. The 3 Team Effort gets blinkers on today for trainer Miguel Vera. Victor Carrasquez is getting close to 1,000 career wins. Carrasco rides this 4-year-old colt by Giants Causeway, a sharp second against Maiden Special Weight, going 9 furlongs last November. So an effort like that, and that's why the 3 Team Effort is your even money favorite here in race 2.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take much less than 2-1 on this horse. I simply wouldn't. If you look at his 2 races, okay, yes, that he had that nice race going 1 mile and 1/8, but they were walking. 51, 116. He was able to keep going. You look at his 2 races going 1 mile and 1.70 at Monmouth this past September when they were running along pretty well, and he was trying to lay close. He backed up, and that's exactly what he did in his last start here at Laurel Park over a track rated good. Just got very late while trying to lay close. Now, he is taking the drop in class today. That should help him. Adds the blinkers today. You would think that would help him, but I'm a little leery about those 2 races when he has to go a little bit faster than he likes to early. So I wouldn't take too short of a price on the 3 Team Effort.
All right, he'll be tough to beat, but we both pick against him. We use him in our exact, and then we both like the 5 a little bit here. Dinah's Night. It's going to be a nice 8-1 Sheldon Russell on this 4-year-old by Flat Out for Tim Keefe. A decent effort, 2-back rally to finish second, going 5.5. An okay 4th last out, going 1 mile against Maiden 16. Was 6 wide in that event. Now a little step up here to the Maiden 25. Looks like an honest trying horse, but he's going to have to bring his A game today. You'll get a nice price on the 5 Dinah's Night.
Well, no doubt. You would think he's going to move forward a little bit second time going a route of ground. That was a decent effort first time off the route of ground, but here's a horse who's stepping up in class, and he's going to have, you're absolutely right, he's going to have to bring his very best. But it looks like he's trying to go the right direction. It doesn't matter if it's going to be enough.
All right, so nice Maiden 25 there in race 2. A competitive field to kick off the early pick 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 3 is going to start today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Nice carryover for you today. There it is, a little over 5,200. Starts race 3. Tim, you have a ticket. Let's check it out and see how you play it.
I do, a $43.20 ticket, and I go 3 deep here in race 3 using the 4, the 5, and the 6. In race 4, like I said, I think this race is wide open, this beaten nickel. I go 4 deep here, 2, 4, 7, 8. As I mentioned earlier, my single comes in race 5. That is Farrier's horse on the outside, the 8 horse. Race 6, I use the 3 and the 4, the 7, the 3, 5, 7, the 8th. I go 3 deep there, 1, 3, 6, $43.20. My whole day comes on Always Forgiven, Cintron, Farrier, in race 5.
All right, here we go. Race 3. We're going a mile. Nice 25,000 starter allowance for filly mares 4 and up. Never won 2 lifetime here in race 3. Let's check out our picks here for race 3. And we have, as I blow my pen here, we have a video spotlight here of the 2 favorites. The 4 Twirling Liz is 7-5. The 5 Sexyama is 2-1. Let's check out a race that they're both in back on November 10th. All right, we both have the 4 Twirling Liz on top. Here's a race from November 10th. 2 starts ago for Twirling Liz, 2 starts ago for Sexyama. So Twirling Liz in front right now. Sexyama is going to come from the back of the pack. Sexyama is going to end up finishing a good second. Twirling Liz is going to finish, Sexyama is going to finish third. Twirling Liz a good second in this event.
Yeah, good second in this race. This was a nice effort, and this today's race, this race is at today's level. So she ran ahead of than in her last start, and she's dropping back down to this level here, and she hangs on as well as she can hang on. She gets beat by Mia Gift. That's a Claudia Gonzalez shooter. They can be very tough, but she runs a game race here this afternoon. And Sexyama, she just does what she does. She just kind of keeps grinding away, and you can see she keeps trying here today by Caro Prince out of a Royal Academy mare. That's okay. As far as an off track, but I'm going to give the edge for an off track to Twirling Liz by Twirling Candy out of a Gotcha Gold mare there. So, I think it comes down to those two, no doubt. I think we both give Twirling Liz both our top pick here.
All right, so the 4 is the favorite. We have the 4 on top. The 6, Dance and Dance Centron aboard for Claudio. This horse been running at Parks. First start today at Laurel Park. First start on an off track. Sexyama is interesting. You have the 5 in your exact. The first off the claim today for Jerry Robb. We honored Jerry Robb at No Guts, No Glory Farm yesterday for Anna's Bandit and the Robb Barn. They've been red hot recently. First off the claim, about 35% in a positive ROI. They get their go-to jockey here. So the 5 Sexyama is going to be tough here. The 5 and the 6, but they all have to beat the 4 Twirling Liz.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Sexyama, Jerry Robb, very, very good. He's been red hot. He's 4 for 8 this winter already since the first of the year. He's training at 50%, 35% off the claim, and all of his horses he's claimed lately have gone the right direction. Virtually all of them. I expect Sexyama. Dance and Dance, look, stretching for the first time for Claudio Gonzalez. I think that's important. He hits at 22%. First time here at Laurel Park, but she does have 3 local works here for Maryland's leading trainer in 2019.
All right, so we like the same 4 filly mares there in the third race to kick off the pick 6, late pick 5, and super high 5 starts in race 4. Super high 5 features a low 15% takeout. We have it every race with 7 or more horses. No carryover in race 4, but keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 4 kicks off the late pick 5. No carryover. They hit it yesterday for almost about 400. It paid yesterday. It paid 383 yesterday, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout. I have a ticket for today's late pick 5. Let's check it out, see how I play it. $48 ticket. I go 4, 7, 8 here in race 4. Maybe I can get a price with the 7. Battle Ready at 6-1. That would be nice. Race 5. I go 4 deep there in race 5. The 9's a nice price on the outside. Dropping for Ness and McCarthy, 6-1 on the 9 offer. He can't refuse. So I have a couple live 6-1 shots in races 4 and 5. Race 6, Maiden 25. I'm 4 deep there with the 2, 3, 4, 8. The 3, 5-card draw. Second time Trombetta gets Victor Carrasco's. That's a nice 6-1 shot there in race 6. Then I go with the 2 favorites, the 3, 7 in race 6. Then in race 8, I single on a horse that went 0 for 9 last year, but 4 seconds, has a win on an off track, 4-time winner here at Laurel Park. I single on the 3, Truly Hot. Carol Manos aboard for Mary Epler in race 8. That's a nice nickel starter allowance for filly mares going 6 furlongs. So I need Truly Hot, the 3-horse there in race 8.
Yeah, why not? And she's been hitting some heavy hitters. We'll talk about it later, but ran behind Anna's Bandit, yesterday's plan, and Sweet Home Dixie, who just won her 5th in the row for Hammy Smith's 2,000th win day before yesterday.
All right, so we like the same 3 filly mares on top here. I used the 4, 7, 8 here in race 4. We're going 5.5 furlongs, claiming 5,000. I'm sorry, this is for 4 and up geldings and colts here, 4 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months, never won 4. I go with the 4 here in race 4. I go with the 8 on top here in race 4. The 8's on the outside. La Maquina agrees for Wayne Potts. Ricardo Chappie will ride, a 6-year-old stud horse by the Factor, a sharp 4-length winner last out late December on a muddy sealed track at the beat. That was against Nickel 3 Life Company. So a nickel 4 life spot today, but this horse has some backclass. He's made $136,000 from 32 starts as a 6-year-old. Had a decent campaign last year. Sharp win at Laurel Park, and we know he likes an off track.
Oh, I think when he was in his stall last night and he heard that rain hitting the top of his barn, he was very happy because certainly his stock moves up with the off track. That was a big effort in his last start, never in question. question when he got the job done here today. Now, he's going to have to come back and run that same type of race as he did on December 29th. Comes back in about 12 days, 13 days. So it could be a little bounce factor in there off of that big effort.
All right, you have the 7 on top. I'll take the 7. Battle ready, 6 to 1. I'll root for the 7 here. 6 to 1. I have here on my ticket to kick off the late pick 5, and I have this horse on my early pick 5. A sharp third at this level. Last out, Michael Gorham, always tough. Alex Cintron will ride. Battle ready, a 3-time winner on an off track.
He is, and he's my price play of the day. And it was a good effort in his last start where he got just a little late going 3/4 of a mile. He backs up to 5.5 furlongs here this afternoon. He's never even run the distance, but you're absolutely right. He's going to appreciate this off-going 3 for 8 with 2/3 on the off-going. And you look further back at Timonium, you'll see another good effort. But I think Mikey Gorham, he won a race on Monkey's Medal yesterday. Keith Fustel, $21 winner that
right.
Keith had on top. So I think Mikey Gorham's settled in here at Laurel over the last 3 weeks or so. His horses came down from Delaware. They've been training down here. His outfit's going to start going in a really good direction, and for me, it would be very good if Battle Ready could get it done this afternoon.
All right, come on, Battle Ready. I'll take it 6 to 1 with Cintron. The 4 Midnight Cry comes off the layoff for the very capable barn of trainer Linda Albert. Kevin Gomez rides his 5-year-old by Street Magician, a 4-time winner here at Laurel Park, and 1 for 1 on and off track. That was a good sealed track way back in November 2018. A big win that day with a 68 buyer. But last spring when this horse was running here at Laurel Park, was running against a beaten 8,000 nickel starter. Ran a couple big seconds last spring with big numbers. If Midnight Cry is ready to go off the layoff, and I see a couple bullet workouts in December here at Laurel, the 4 is probably going to take some money. We both used Midnight Cry in our exact.
Well, last year and into earlier this year, Midnight Cry was absolutely on a tear. He went 4 for 6, all running at this nickel level and got the wins. And then his next few races, he was stepping up before he went on that layoff. Still good efforts with good, sharp numbers. He's just a question. He looks on paper like the best horse in the race.
Sure.
No doubt. It's going to be a question whether he's ready to fire off of this layoff. And you're right. I mean, there's some sharp works there. December 29th, 59 and 4 right here at Laurel Park for the 5/8 of a mile. So if he's ready, they're all running for second. I'm going to take a gamble that he's not quite there and picked up against. He's in my exacta, but look, if he's ready, he's going straight to the winner's circle.
All right, so nice beaten nickel going 5.5 furlongs here to kick off the late pick 5. Need a 4.78 there in race 4. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, big field race 5 is going to kick off the late pick 4. We'll check it out right after this.
The best bets at Laurel Park are the pick 5s, and we have 2 of them. The early pick 5 starts in race 1 and is a mandatory payout. The late pick 5 is the last 5 races of the day and has carryover potential. Both pick 5s at Laurel Park have an industry low 12% takeout. The pick 5s at Laurel Park, your best bet.
All right, welcome back. Big 10 horse field in race 5 to kick off the late pick 4. We're going a flat mile claiming 10,000 4 and up. Number 1, 2, Lifetime. We both have the 8 on top here. We have a video spotlight of the 8. You key on this horse on your early pick 4 ticket. Turn too many pages. The 8, Always Forgiven, second off the claim for Anthony Ferrier. Let's take a look at the race. First off the claim, December 21st at this $10,000 level. I'm sorry, this was against $16,000 level. Here's the start.
And this is something I talk about all the time. Well, he didn't have a terrible start. He got away just that little bit of slow. And once a horse does that, the other horses just come in on him and take away his space, and he got pinched back. But here you see him making a good run from that bad start. And he's down inside on the fence there, and he just keeps on battling along at this $16,000 level. He drops to the $10,000 level here this afternoon. And when you give up that kind of ground early, sometimes it's hard. You've got to use your horse to make up the ground, and then you just don't have enough horse to finish with. But this horse hangs in there tough. You'll see some other good races going 7/8 of a mile last year at Saratoga. Look at that race at Saratoga where he ran second and ran a 73 buyer speed figure. But I thought this was a pretty good effort, a better break today. here this afternoon. Turning back to the mile should be enough to get it done for Always Forgiven by Blame. Who's by Arch out in a Fleet Alex Mare. He's only run on the off track one time in his life, but ran a decent enough number against much tougher.
Yeah, likes this distance. Had a big win going a mile to break his maiden special weight at Santa Anita last year. So I like the 8. The class relief is going to help for the 8. Always Forgiven, and he likes the 1 mile distance. So we both have the 8 on top. The 4 we both like in our exacta. We both have a cold 8-4-6-9 here. The 4 topped me off. Been the beaten favorite the last 2 for trainer Tim Keefe, but that was against starter allowance. 16,000 last out. Both those races had next out winners, and now the 4 topped me off, taking a drop in class. Forest Boyce has quietly been on a little bit of a tear recently. Dan Ailman has tweeted out a couple times about her. She's been winning a bunch of races recently. She's had some wins here this weekend. So Forest she's going to be dangerous here on the 4 top me off.
Yeah, I think she's the most undervalued rider here in Maryland. She's very smart. She's a good horsewoman, and she'll always give your horse a shot to win. So, Forrest has been on a tear. But look, this horse is dropping off a solid try, and he's just one of these types of horses where, wow, the races are there, the numbers are there. He's just not getting the results. So what do? You put him in a place where he might be able to transfer those numbers against weaker. Now, he's got that nice win back at Delaware last August where he fired a 77 Beyer speed figure and a lifetime best that day. But he hasn't quite run back to that race. So this little bit of class relief should be able to help top me off here this afternoon.
All right, and the 6 Marylanders, a nice price at 9-2. Third off the layoff for Lacey Gaudette, taking a drop to the 10 today. Rosado rides. Rosado and Lacey teamed up with a big win with Sparty. What was that, last weekend?
Yes.
So Marylanders live here at a decent price on the drop. Be the first start on and off track for this 4-year-old son of Seville.
Yeah, first start on off track, and we'll see how that goes. But he's dropping. He's stretching back out, and he's coming in third off of a layoff here this afternoon. So I like everything I see here. The horse got a little bit better in his last start from his first start off the layoff. Now, he does have to stretch out here this afternoon, but he ran behind the next out winner and Buddy's run in his last start. So I think Marylander is eligible to move forward here this afternoon.
Let's get a cold 8-4-6-9 home here in race 5. Always Forgiven, our top pick. Let's turn the page here. Race 6 to kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going 6 furlongs. Maiden claiming $25,000 for straight 3-year-olds here in race 6. I have the 2 on top. Created Special is 9-2 morning line. We have a video spotlight of Created Special from early December. Let's check out this race against Maiden 16,000. The Gray, son of Creative Cause, the 9-horse this day in the 2-path on the outside with a neck in front around the far turn. He's 8-1, a big 8-1 this day, and he runs a real big game second. This was first off the claim for trainer Mike Juralis and owner Mark Lapidus. They had a win this weekend here at Laurel Park, so the barn's going in the right direction. And look how game this horse, a sharp comment line you see there, just gets beat 3/4 of a length. Weston Hamilton back aboard today.
This was a great race, and this was a big performance because he did all the work early. And Taskinus, who sat the 7, who sat a perfect trip, should have, in all rights, drawn off and won that race by 2 or 3 lengths. But Created Special just keeps hanging in there and digging in. And maybe if he can get the lead without so much pressure today, he might be able to take it all the way. Now, he is stepping up. That was a maiden 16 and the maiden 25 today. Sure. They're asking him a big question, but he certainly went in the right direction in that last race. A couple works since that last race on December 6th.
All right, you have the 4 on top here. Metal Magician for our leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. Second-time starter here. Took a bunch of money in debut against Maiden 40. Showed a little speed with a wide trip and then faded. But takes a drop to the maiden 25 today.
Yeah, I mean this is just all Claudio. Second start of this Colts Gelding's career. Second time out of the box, Claudio hits at 33%. Now he's taking a drop from the 40 to the 25,000 here today. And I didn't think that was a terrible race in debut. It was kind of even. He got a little late, which isn't typical of Claudio's horses. They're usually pretty ready to go first time out of the box, but I think Metal Magician moves forward here this afternoon under his main go-to bug guy, Victor Rosales.
All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 6. Let's turn the page here. Nice starter allowance in race 7 to kick off the late daily double. We're going a flat mile for straight 3-year-olds that have started for claiming price of $16,000 or less, or claiming $16,000 here in race 7. We both have the 3 on top here. 5-star perfect for Hammy Smith. Sheldon Russell will ride the Ham Smith barn, having a big weekend. They got career win number 2,000 a couple days ago, and this horse is in perfect form the last 3 starts. A big maiden score when they stretched him out to a mile against maiden 16. They stepped up to a tough starter allowance 2 starts ago. A good second that day, and then they dropped down a little easier starter, big second last time, and now a little easier starter today. They're eligible for this race because they broke the maiden for maiden 16. So this is a homebred for trainer Hammy Smith, a 3-year-old by Seville. I think the 3 5-star perfect keeps his sharp form today.
I think so, and he looks very good in this race. He ran his 2 races going a mile. 2 of his 3 races, all 3 of his races, going a mile, have been good, really good efforts, breaking his maiden for the 16,000, but then backing that up with 2 good efforts in his last 2 starts, including his lifetime best in his last start. Probably gets a little class relief here today. 3 works since that last start. Looks pretty good for 5-star perfect. Sheldon Russell returns. However, I don't think it's any give me. I went 3 deep in this race. I think you went 3 deep in your late pick 5 or close to 2 deep.
The 3-7 here.
2 deep. So I don't think it's any give me for him. He's going to have to come back and run the same type of race as he did in his last start. And he's got a couple horses in here that look like they might be going the right direction.
Yeah, I have the 3 on my late pick 5 here. The 7 I think is going to be tough. Boat Over the Hill for Nessa McCarthy. Sharp win 2 back at this level. Then second last out, going 7 furlongs, but he wants the mile. He's run 2 big races going a mile, so I think Boat Over the Hill with McCarthy is going to be tough. He's 2-1. I use him in the exacta and on my late pick 5.
Yeah, I use him on my late pick 5 also. But look, I mean, last time this horse ran at this level, he went right to the winner's circle, ran a good number, very competitive number to our top pick, gets back to this level here this afternoon after trying to sprint in his last race, going 7/8 of a mile. That was a big race. That was against Tougher. And he would come out of that race and only get beat a length while running second sprint to route. Jamie Ness about 22%. And, of course, we know McCarthy and Ness have been hot for all of 2019. And you can figure they're going to continue that trend here in 2020.
Let's see if the Ham Smith barn can keep on rolling this weekend. We have them on top here with the 3 5-star perfect. Let's turn the page. Race 8, one of our features of the day. Nice nickel starter allowance going 6.5. It's Quinella time here in race 8 with that low 10% takeout. Every day, last live race, every racing day, we had the Quinella with that low 10% takeout. So race 8, one of our features, a $5,000 starter allowance for filly mares 4 and up, going 6.5 furlongs. Let's start with the 4, Shecor. You have the 4 in the mix there. 9-2 here on Shecor. Runs first off the claim for trainer Hugh McMahon. Let's show you the race from late December here at Laurel Park for Shecor. The 2 horse this day on the inside and behind horses, getting pressure from the outside, and gets a tough trip right about here.
Yeah, she gets a tough trip right about here. She's down in behind 3 horses. She's got a horse to her outside, and while she might have a little run here, as she does, she just has nowhere to go, 0, and she's taking the worst of it. Now she finally gets out to the outside, has to bump herself out there, makes a little space for her, and she hangs in there, and she runs a credible race in the end, only getting beat 3 lengths while running 4th. But when you're getting tired, a horse is getting tired and they get bumped around a little bit, you know, it's just like playing football. The more you get bumped around later in the game, it just takes more out of you. And that was a credible race that afternoon. Now she gets claimed. She goes first time for Hugh McMahon. He wins about 18% first off the claim. You go back to last summer, spring and summer, Shecor was in very, very good form, and she's fallen off her form. She needs to find that form again, and she very well might with Hugh McMahon and Sheldon Russell aboard.
All right, so you have her in the mix. She's 9-2. I didn't get to her. I have the 3 on top here. Truly Hot is my single on my late pick 5. I know she was 0 for 9 last year, but she had 4 big seconds. She's been running against some tough customers. She's 3 for 9 on and off track. She just ran a good third against Starter Allowance late November. Good third behind Sweet Home Dixie, who would come back to gallop. Sweet Home Dixie's won like 4 or 5 in a row. So I think the 3 Truly Hot's been keeping good company, and I'll pick her on top today at 5-2.
Yeah, she has been keeping good company, no doubt about it. Musa Bega, Lonely Drifter, Anna's Bandit. That was way too tough. But as you mentioned, Sweet Home Dixie. My question is, will it be enough? I mean, she's been running some diesels. Another one's been running good numbers and not getting the results that you might think. But this starter nickel could be the key. The last 3 times she's run at the starter nickel, she's had really good races, but second all 3 times.
Right. All right, so the 2-1 morning line favorite in this event is the 6 #selfie, a 9-time winner here at Laurel Park. You get 5 pounds off with the bug. Avery Wisman aboard for Kieran McGee, a big third at this level last out, going a mile, now cuts back to 6.5 today. So she'll get a nice trip on the outside, and she's carrying 5 pounds less than my top pick, so that does concern me. That's why the 6 #selfie is going to end up your favorite here.
And turning back to 6.5 furlongs coming out of that mile race where she ran him behind Sweet Home Dixie that afternoon, has run 5.5 furlongs twice in her life. Shows a good number there, 75 by her speed figure. I just think she's got a great draw. She's going to get outrun, no doubt, but she's on the outside. Wisman will keep her in the clear. She'll come running, get the job done, or so I think. We'll see how it goes. 2-1 on the morning line for #selfie and Kieran McGee.
All right, so nice little nickel starter allowance for filly and mares here. Race 8 to wrap things up today. The football action will be in the sports book for you on that 75-foot LED wall. You can watch all the football action, simulcast action from across the country, Gulfstream, Santa Anita. We watch the late games here in the sports book. So it's over for the Ravens, but still 2 big games to enjoy today. And a nice carryover in that pick 6 starting race 3. You have a ticket for it. That's over 5,200 today.
Over 5,200 should be well played, and the only way to get over a tough loss is just get back in the game, get back out here to the track, watch a little football, go after that rainbow pick 6, and trust me, if you hit the rainbow pick 6 and you have the single rainbow pick 6, you'll get over that Ravens game right now, no doubt.
All right, good luck today. Big 8-race program kicks off in about 27 minutes. Dave Rodman coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.